They say the unknown is the cause of all fear, and I found that to be true. For a while, I stayed in what I would call the triangle of safety. And for me, that was where I lived, where I worked, and where I went to socialize. It was easy to stay in that, but whenever I would venture out of that, I would have to deal with this fear character. In the battle with him, there is no middle of the ground. One of us is going to win and the other one's going to lose. And he comes out swinging. Maybe you shouldn't go. Maybe you don't have enough money. Maybe your bike's going to break down. The weather might go bad. He wants me to stay what I'm doing, even if it's no longer working for me and it is time to move on to the next level of my life. And I would go and take off with my knees tight against the gas tank, sometimes freaking out, man. But then 3 hours out of town, I'd begin to mellow out. And once the unknown becomes known, I'm no longer afraid of it. Well, let's see, my name's Scotty and I live a nomadic life. I am a drifter. Some people call it nomad. Nomad. They call me a nomad. I haven't stayed in any one place for over 2 months for 22 years. These travels cover the whole of the US, Canada, and Mexico, and I go with the birds, north by summer, south by winter. I haven't had a winter in many years. I was in the roofing business a long time, and I had this fear that I was gonna die one day. And when I did, my life would flash before my eyes. And all I would see would be miles and miles of roofs. One day I went out and I packed my bike, my tools, and some clothes, and I rode away and I left that house there. And I've been on the road ever since. Having a good home is essential, man. You know what? I spent the first 2 years staying in a lot of bad places, and where I'd be woken up or I didn't sleep well or it was kind of nerve-wracking. And so I seek out places that are completely private, where I can get up and walk outside naked and take a leak if I want. I haven't paid to sleep in 22 years, and I don't know if I could get used to it again. So that's the virtues of this spot. Private, close to town, good wind blockage, good dew blockage. Beautiful too. So I told him when we took off, I said, okay, you know all that, we're gonna make time, we're gonna haul ass, we're gonna get somewhere, we're gonna burn up the road, we're gonna ride shit. I says, for this ride only, man, we're gonna put all that on the back burner, and we're only gonna pay attention to one thing, and that is, how can we get the most pleasure out of this ride possible? My rules are, we stop for anything anybody wants at any time, stay as long as we want until we feel like leaving again. Now him and his old lady split up, but he's still on the road. It's been 2 years. He's still living on his bike. Now what I do is settle into towns and hang around, make myself a home, get to know people, make some friends, and stay until I feel like traveling again. It's like quantum leap. You're jumping into other people's realities, like I'm doing here with these guys who work on the motorcycles in the shop. Well, that's cool. So you're going to be camping with us this year. Yeah. You'll see. You get out there, yeah. Bring your vitamins, man, because you're going to need your energy. That is one rockin' show. What happens is you become a visitor into their worlds for a while, and then you move on to another one. Motorcycling is a form of therapy. And out there on long rides, because you're sitting there for so long with the scenery going by you, what'll happen some of the time is the mind will go quiet. It shuts down, and it's like a form of meditation. That bike sitting out there, that bike owns me. It's got over 500,000 miles on it. And I've had some of the greatest adventures. And through it all, the only thing with me was that bike. There's my motorcycle in the jungle. There's some thick jungle there, huh? Devil's Tower. That's just the Grand Canyon, obviously. I was traveling across Canada one year, and I pulled into a restaurant to have dinner, and I hit it off with the waitress, and she took me home. First Easy Rider magazine story I ever wrote was about her. And I stayed with her for a month. That's in Mexico, south of the border. This road was supposed to be the worst for the banditos, but we didn't have any trouble. I met Kat in Prescott, Arizona. We rode 17 miles of this road naked. And I was in first gear the whole time. It took over an hour. I used to see her whenever I went back there, but I've lost track of her. So that's what I began to see when I hit the road, is all these really interesting things and adventures and people and places, and I just couldn't go back and work, pay bills. War, pigs, gathered in their masses. When I started having all these adventures and I was excited and wanted to tell them to people, and I began to write, and what I found out is I have a natural knack for writing. My aim is to inspire people to maybe follow the things that they want to do. Because it would have been sad had I remained a roofing contractor and stayed in that little safety net and never taken the time to go out and find the real calling. If I stay in any one place too long, I start to get depressed, man. There comes a point when I'm done, I get itchy feet, I'm ready to go. It's that natural wanderlust bug. I'm always having to move on, see what's over the next hill. The first time I went to New Orleans, when you ride through on the freeways, you can see the graveyards. And they don't bury the people in the ground because the water table's too high. They bury them in these little tombs. They say it's the last house you'll ever own. The graves are busted open, man. When you look in, the caskets are disintegrated, and all there is the skeletons. And one day I walked over to one of them holes, and I pulled a bone out of somebody's thigh. And I held it in my hand, and I thought, this person has been dead for probably twice as long as they were alive. I had thought I would build this empire at one point, get to this plateau and live happily ever after, and I realized the plateau was in the hole, man. The fantasy that you start with is not going to be what the reality is. And the reality is not going to be worse, but it's not going to be what's in your head. I see abandoned houses all over the country. Sometimes I've counted them. Some areas have 6 of them a mile. They're just everywhere. Trippy, right? I wonder what we got in there. Boy, look at this. It's woman's clothes. There's a woman's clothes here. Look at this. Somebody's toothbrush. There's some Old Spice, soap. This here's a lipstick. Yeah, a lipstick. That stuff's pretty modern. Wonder how long this place has been left. This was a life with probably a family. Somebody probably paid a mortgage on this place. Christmas, you know what I mean? All of it happened here. And now that the people have moved on, Mother Nature is taking this place down. It's being dismantled. All this stuff is turning instantaneously back into dirt. That's how important it is. When I used to leave California, I first started going back in the winter. I was kind of drawn to my home. And over time, that faded away to nothing. Now I feel drawn to no place. For me, home is wherever I am.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired now, 'cause I've carried quite a load, and don't know which way I'm going. I'm just going where I go. Petal dewdrops fall to drink, silver minutes, time to think. I'm ready to go now.
There are very real obstacles that you have to overcome, and drives almost everybody home. People don't realize you're going to be in towns. You don't know anybody. Sleeping under picnic tables in rainstorms, you're not always sure where you're getting a shower, waking up in places with the cops throwing me out. But life is very short. You live a while and then you die. So if there's anything you want to do, you best do it. You know what I mean? Every dog has his day. Yours and mine is right now. This whole trip started for me as a soul-searching thing, but it turned into a way of life. It's really an unusual, strange thing. And although I've been doing it a long time, I'm still really enthusiastic about it. Sometimes I get out there and I'm just like, this is great, man. This is just fucking great.
You're talking of people the whole